Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the life of a hero, Sergeant Ramon Gutierrez, Jr. Sergeant Gutierrez was not just a tremendous peace officer, he was a remarkable husband, father, and friend. And the life he lived served as an inspiration both to his colleagues and the community he served. The recent tragedies within our law enforcement community are stark reminders of the day-to-day dangers police face on the job. Constable Ted Heap, Precinct 5, thank you for joining us. We share in your pain as well as we just buried another hero, Corporal Galloway. Constable Herman, Precinct 4, Constable, thank you for being here, sir. We continue to mourn the loss of Constable Deputy Kareem Atkins, October of last year. While these situations are all tragic and heartbreaking, they're also an uplifting reminder of our camaraderie and promise to be by each other's side. The loss is immeasurable, but so is the love left behind. Law enforcement agencies from every corner of our community and our state close ranks and stand together to remember a great man. We're also grateful for the community support that we've seen. Lupita, so many people have reached out to offer condolences to our agency and to you as well. Here today we have Harris County Commissioner Cagle. We have representatives from Commissioner Garcia. State Representative Alvarado is here. Representatives from the U.S. Marshal's Office. We have Houston Fire Chief Sam Peña. And we have representatives from the trucking companies that knew your husband personally and are here to share in the celebration today. 20 years ago, Ramon began his law enforcement career as a detention officer in the Harris County Jail. He helped manage the care and custody inside the largest jail in the state of Texas. He entered the basic peace officers course training at our academy. For Ramon, becoming a peace officer was not simply starting a new job in law enforcement. It was always his dream. As a young boy, his siblings were telling me that he would always be the cop in the different scenarios that they played, and he was armed with his toy plastic handcuffs. Y'all remember that? Everybody's nodding yes. While at our training academy, Ramon earned the nickname Guts. Guts. He was tough and resilient. The class B1 2003 was broken into squads, and Ramon was part of the squad named Super Squad for excelling in the classroom, at the firearms range, and at physical training. Sergeant Harden, one of his classmates, recalled a time when Ramon wasn't feeling himself and should have sat out that day from physical training, but he dug deep and he refused to quit. He had grit, he had guts. Nothing could ever stop him. It took one of his instructors to pull him away from the training that day. That's who Ramon was. His eagerness to be a team player and to get the job done carried over into every role he held in our agency. He spent the last 13 years, the bulk of his time, with the elite Vehicular Crimes Division. That's where he truly thrived and found his niche. He was an outstanding and knowledgeable accident investigator. He had a clear understanding of the nature of the job and all its complexities, which is fundamental to becoming a successful traffic investigator. According to Lieutenant Chang, in his latest assignment, he was a committed sergeant to the investigators who worked for him. He provided investigators with the necessary guidance and intellectual grounding they needed to be the best. He shared vast amounts of knowledge and years of experience with his teammates, always encouraging them to apply their extensive training to their jobs. He was an effective communicator. He knew how to talk to people. Whatever we called Sergeant Gutierrez about, he got it done right away. His passion for safe roadways set the bar in DWI enforcement. Sergeant Gutierrez not only demonstrated high arrest numbers when it came to DWIs, but acted as a leader and motivator of his team. He was a difference maker in every sense of the word. His commitment was recognized by Mothers Against Drunk Drivers and through several awards, including a unit commendation. And he treated every crash investigation with equal vigor. Yes, Ramon had a strong commitment to removing drunk drivers from our roadways. He was good at it. He excelled at it. It was important to him. And now, because of an unfathomable incident, his life was cut short. Ramon spent many years in this community putting his life on the line to make our roadways safer from impaired drivers. Now, our sincere hope is that the person responsible for this be held accountable and be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. As a supervisor, Sergeant Gutierrez was hands-on. He enjoyed working alongside his troops. He didn't shy away from rolling up his sleeves to secure and investigate an active scene. In fact, he could still do it, even as a supervisor, Lupita. He could still get behind that total station and map out a crash scene to scale. He never forgot where he came from. It wasn't uncommon for him to step in and do whatever was needed to help, whether it was conducting a field sobriety test, using the total map station, taking photographs of evidence, and just helping map all the pieces together on a complex crash site. He didn't care about the stripes on his sleeves. He always led from the front. He was a true leader. As Ahmad shared with me, even after promoting, Ramon always stayed humble. He never forgot his roots. He never changed. He remained humble and approachable. He was always supportive, but yet firm when he had to. And he always led his troops, and many said that he would lead them like if he was a father figure to them. He would approach them with that type of respect and kindness. Ahmad told me that to him, Ramon set an example of the type of leader he wishes to someday be when he gets promoted. That is a part of a legacy that Ramon leaves behind. As a bilingual cop, he brought comfort to Spanish-speaking residents as well during their greatest time of need. Not only was he able to share information about major active crash scenes in real time with our Spanish media partners, but he was also able to connect with the Hispanic community on a deeper level. He brought these family members peace of mind. He was patient, compassionate, and everything you could ask for in a peace officer. As peace officers, we know a big part of community policing is spending time outside of our patrol cars. It's about bonding with the residents we serve. Ramon always had a special way of reaching people and making connections with them. This was apparent one day when Lieutenant Cabrera asked Sergeant Gutierrez to visit his daughter's Girl Scout troop. The Girl Scouts ran towards his patrol car and immediately made a connection with Ramon. Ramon let them sit in his patrol car and left the event with a smile and boxes of Girl Scout cookies. Yes. And Ramon loved his teammates. He loved his VCD family. And he had a knack for bringing people together. He loved, and I mean he loved to cook, Lupita. He loved to grill, and he loved cooking for the team. He cooked during hurricanes, special occasions, or for any reason whatsoever. His team members are still talking about those special street tacos that he cooked at a retirement event, and they were delicious. But even when it was just a slow day, he'd go buy some meat, he had a special frying pan, and he'd get to cooking. I'm also told that he had finally perfected his recipe for tamales and had gotten pretty darn good at it as well. So cooking was an important part of his life. And I know cooking was important for you as well, Lupita, and it was something y'all shared together. I was talking to Hennessy as he was walking in. He goes, "We lost a good man today." He goes, "I was his trainer early on." He goes, "And one of my fondest memories is of him and Lupita when he was one of my trainees and I was his trainer, and he'd bring those really delicious chorizo nuevo breakfast tacos." So Lupita, you've touched many people, and everybody doesn't only remember and respect Ramon, they remember and love and respect you. One of the sergeants recently told me, "I loved seeing his Facebook post. I was envious of the type of marriage that they had because everything was about Lupita and his family. He loved his family. He really, really had a wonderful example of what a marriage should be. And we saw those in those pictures, and that's a testament to you being that, high school sweetheart. Even though he'd get in trouble sometimes because he'd be late to class, walking you to class, and he'd have to do detention because you made him late. He was also very connected about sports. Yes, we know he loved the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Yeah, just about every picture he was wearing some type of Cowboys gear or something. So yes, we know he loved the Cowboys. And he's also remembered for having such a great sense of humor. They said he was always witty and always had something to say. His team loved him. Brenda on his team was sharing with me as well that she remembers his smile, that he always walked into the office with a smile. And no matter how busy he was, he always made time to talk to you if you needed to talk to him. He was always kind-hearted as well. Again, everyone he came across, he touched in a very special way. We were truly blessed to have him amongst our ranks. Beyond his serious commitment to the job, he was a devoted husband and loving father. It was hard to get through a conversation with him without him pulling out the latest photos of the family or talking about what was happening with his kids. He would beam with immense pride when he thought about them. He cherished every minute with Lupita and the family. Spending time with his family was something he never sacrificed, no matter how busy he was or how much his job demanded of him. Some will say he left the world the same way he lived, faithfully carrying out his duties and taking care of his family. The best way to honor Ramon's memory is to be like Ramon. It needs to be lived out in actions, because that's how Ramon lived. Good, solid, selfless, dependable actions. That's the goal, to match that sense of devotion to life and to our profession. To his wife Lupita, to his daughter Natalia, and his sons Nomar and Alfredo, to all the extended family here today, and to all those whose lives he touched, know this: our Sheriff's Office family will always be here for you. We pray that you find comfort in knowing the profound impact Ramon had on all of us. Thank you for sharing him with us and for the incredible sacrifice made every day of his 20-year public service career. We pray that you find the peace and strength to live out Ramon's legacy of kindness and community. I want to give a special thanks as well to Chief Wagner with Galena Park. Thank you, Chief, for being by the family side from the beginning of this ordeal to now. We know he was a dear friend, and you too will always be a member of our family as well, and we thank you for being a part of this. May God bless Ramon. God bless every teammate who will now carry on his important work. And may God protect all the different first responders that are gathered here today and those that cannot be with us. We must continue to back the blue. We love and miss you, Ramon. We'll take the watch from here. Thank you.